Boom. What's up, y'all? Good morning. 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 Welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I am your host, Mr. A.D. Walker, the pusher, the grower, the motivator. I appreciate you guys rocking and hanging with us. Today is going to be an amazing show. Splicky splow. Say that real quick. Okay, man. Don't take all day. All right, let's move this up. So listen, today, just another day. Today is your opportunity to share. Sharing is caring. Make sure you tag someone to be in this conversation. And today we're talking about changing the mindset of our community. Good morning, Miss Deborah. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Make sure you tag, share, inbox, spam them. Do what you got to do. Everybody on my text community. Blessings, Lisa. Everybody in the text community. Share the text with some other people with the tagline. Listen, do you want to be a part of this conversation? We're going to talk about a few things today. Let's see. Today is the 20th. Do you believe it's almost October? It'll be the new year real soon. She is going by fast. Lord have mercy. I feel like I'm getting older quicker. Good morning, Miss Keita. Great morning to you. Thank you for rocking with us. So yeah, let's see. Spliggity splow. What am I doing? All right, there we go. So yeah, so like I said, today we're talking about changing the mindset of the community when it comes to several things. Pastor may be on Monday, sometimes get a little iffy, so we'll see what happens. It'll just be me. We're gonna have a conversation because every conversation is about shifting our community. Also, side note, tonight, think about Miss Keita. Tonight is Purposeful Forever. We have our singles night. We're gonna have a great conversation. Last time was hilarious. You definitely don't want to miss that. Miss the conversation tonight. It's gonna be our singles. We're gonna go into dating and all of that and what's it looking like, the prospects, the issues, the situations, the things you deal with just being single in 2021. All right, so make sure you tune in tonight. Purposeful Forever. Let's see what else. All right. I think that's it. Oh, what's today? Monday. Yes. Man, it's Monday. Monday. So yeah, so basically this week we're gonna be talking about a lot of things around, I like a concurrent theme, talking about changing the mindset of our community. Of course, I'm gonna have some more of the brothers on this week. But yeah, I want to dig into some of our mental blocks, some of the things we feel like are happening, but I feel like it's not really happening. I think it's more of our mindset, more than anything. Like, yeah, there's just a perception out there. Sometimes there's certain perceptions that we're doing something that no one else is, and that is just not the case. Hey, Mama McCoy, great morning to you. So make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Make sure you are letting everybody know about the Brothers of Legacy, as well as make sure you are purchasing BOL apparel. Go to www.brothersoflegacy.com, www.brothersoflegacy.com, and let us and support. It helps us grow this channel, as well as the initiative we're pushing locally that we are having meetings this week about. And so we're going to keep you up to date on the things that we're doing in the face-to-face space. Good morning, Sam. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Like I said, make sure you share and be a part of our growth and the things we're getting into. If you really are liking what we do here, you're going to love what we do locally. So make sure you're supporting. The shirts alone gives us free advertisement. As you walk around, wherever you go to the store, go hang out. People might ask, who are the Brothers of Legacy? Just tell them to check us out. We like the MLM. Don't give them too much detail. Just tell them to check us out. We're going to dig into the MLMs as well. But yeah, so I need to put that up. So make sure you are sharing, letting everybody know what the brothers are doing. I appreciate you guys being a part of this community. I don't take your time for granted. And not to as much, but it's just part of my vernacular on the show. All right, so make sure you share, make sure you tag, make sure you let everybody know that we're here in the building. Had a great week. It's been rainy a whole lot, driving me crazy. But it's been interesting. Interesting week. All right, so let's see. Let's go ahead and get ready to kick this thing off. Let's see. All right. Spliggity spout. Sorry about that quiet space. All right, let's do that. My brain trying to type at the same time speak. I can't walk and talk. Was it walk and chew gum? All right, let's go. Let's dig into this. Bam. All right, we'll be right back after this.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy.
Gotta push that button. What's up, everybody? Being your own producer and on the show sometimes could get a little wonky. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy, the best hour and some change you'll ever have in your whole life. The best hour of the day, right? Is that a good tagline? The best hour of the day. Oh, I can get it. Make sure you share. I'm gonna keep pushing it. Share, connect. Let everybody know. At least I need everyone to at least tag one person, just one person. If you're in Facebook land, that you want to be a part of this conversation. If you get the text from us, I want you to send it to one person, just one person. All right, so that they know we're on, as well as be a part of this conversation. Somebody that you want a part of this conversation, bring them on. I challenge anyone. I challenge them. And on my podcast, people, thank you for being a part. Make sure you share as well. Make sure you rate and review and all that good stuff. And then some. All right, so today we're talking about changing the mindset of our community, changing the mindset of our community. We have so many things that that keep us from growing, keep us from doing so much. And one of them is when you don't have a partner. But then when you call on the name of the Lord and he sends a partner through, praise the Lord. Good morning, Pastor.
Good morning.
All right. So, like I said, today we're talking about changing.
Good morning, everybody.
Yes, indeed.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. All right. So today we're talking about changing some of the mindsets of our community when it comes to collaboration, criticism. Did you just pull the tag off there?
It was getting me, man. So irritating.
They are. I hate them tags sometimes. I know. And some of them like stick you more than others. All right. So yeah, let's see. Man.
Good morning, Deborah.
There you go. Oh. So yeah, so we are I know that was it's what we do. We keep it real on this show. We keep it real. No edits, straight live. All right. Oh, so we are, yeah, like I said, we're discussing changing the mindset of community. So the first thing I want to talk about, which hopefully we won't stay the whole show, but let's start with this one: constructive criticism. Constructive criticism, and what I mean by that, let's talk about. I've in the Sister of Legacy, they talk about like they were talking about black businesses, and one of the ladies was kind of like, we should kind of help our businesses by telling them what's wrong or telling them how they could do better. And me and my wife, here we frequent a lot of black restaurants, and just for full transparency, it's not difficult in this area to get to black restaurants. So that's the blessing. Like one time I was thinking, it's like, it's like you almost feel proud, but at the same time, it's not a challenge. It's not a challenge.
Kind of comes with the territory.
Yeah. You're kind of blessed. Like no one could ever say anybody in Georgia that doesn't support black people purposely avoids black businesses, because it's like almost impossible not to end up in a black business. just as a point of reference. I mean, unless you just stick to certain areas, it's almost impossible. Even then, you'd be like, oh, they got a black owner too. Like so. Anyway, so we have a thing. You go to restaurants, you eat. I don't know. Like when it comes to criticism in a business, unless the owner or someone comes up and says, how was your experience? You may tell them the truth. You may give them everything, because they may look like they actually want to know what your experience was like. But offering it, that's not unsolicited, unless it's just, hey, take this back. It was cold. Take this back. And like, other than those moments, it just, you don't know. It like, you don't know how can you respond. Now, if I go to Pastor's restaurant, and 9 times out of 10, let's just say restaurant, and there was stuff wrong, or I was like, experience was, this could be better past this, like maybe, depending on it when he's ready to hear it. Like there's time and place for everything, but I don't know, like just unsolicited to experience, I don't think I can do so. Unless it's asked, unless someone comes to the table and says, hey, what was your experience like? Because right. I it's because you never know the response, or you don't know, they may not even care. Like, that's just you. 9 times out of 10, there are preferences, but then there's some things that just, no, that's an issue. that's a problem, So how do you feel? Do you feel like and we're talking about our community, we're going to just dig into it. Overall, do you feel like we can be corrected when it comes to certain things? Or do we listen to correction, or like, do we receive it? Or does it have to come from an authority for us to receive it? That in your experience, do you feel like it has to come from an authority to receive it? Like someone that you place in a certain space in your life to receive? Or do you feel like someone could just offer criticism just off the cuff?
I think it's relative. I believe that the culture, I think restaurants or businesses have cultures.
Right.
And I think they very closely match our cultures in our communities. Everyone has, like in the church, you go to a church and there's certain people who are running or managing certain components of the ministry that can receive constructive criticism.
Right.
And others who are more challenged in receiving constructive criticism.
Right.
And I think it bodes the same way in business. You used a restaurant as an example. I think the restaurant would very quickly or would more than likely suit the personality, or meet with the personality, or be consistent with the personality of its management. Right. If you have detail oriented management, you'll have a detail oriented culture of the restaurant.
Right.
I think that's what happens. And if you have a big restaurant with lots of shifts and all of that, I think each shift is going to be based on that manager's personality. Right. And that's what I have learned. And so I would say that means that, there are some that can accept constructive criticism from anybody, right, and others you have to be somebody to say something to somebody.
Right.
You know.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Hey, mom.
Because I think a lot of times that can be like, the sticking point. And like I said, some people receive based on who you are, or your status, title, or where they place you in their life.
Yeah.
And it I think it is challenging. It's challenging always here, of course, because there's no one knows. Everybody knows they're not perfect, but no one wants to kind of hear certain things, like especially if you think you're good in a certain area, and someone corrects you in the space that I thought I had that. I thought I was straight right there. So I know that the challenge of receiving can be difficult. Also, the challenge of giving can be difficult. And speaking specifically into businesses, have you ever had an experience where you tried to, I guess, for lack of a better way, criticize or correct a business, or to an owner or manager? Like, hey, it'd be better if you better serve if you had, or it'd better serve if you did such and such in a business. Have you ever done? And let's take the step further. Has been in a business that you didn't know the owner personally, like you don't know them. You just like, hey, you could see it's great, but hey, it'd be cool if you did, or better if you did. Have you had one of those experiences?
Yes, I
Okay.
have. Obviously, you can't go into, a national chain,
Right.
but for those small businesses, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I know owners of restaurants, and I've made recommendations.
Okay.
But again, it's a situation where it's all in the packaging.
Right.
I've made a constructive critique only to be told, oh wow, I wish you were there when I made the investment, when I launched the business. That would have been great. In other words, you weren't there when I started this.
Right.
I got that. I did. And I'm like, oh,
okay.
Okay.
Right. Wow.
There's all kinds, man. And then, it's a matter of what mood you catch them in.
Yeah.
And it depends on the size, the reputation of the establishment. I'm not going to Charlie's Chicken Shack,
right,
who can only seat 50 people,
right,
and tell him he needs a red carpet.
Right. Right.
It really just depends, man. Because I'm of the mindset now that you get what you pay for.
Mm.
Right. There's a Jamaican restaurant right up the street from our church on Terra Boulevard.
Yes.
Jamaica Taste.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small establishment.
Yeah.
But they run it like it's a 5-star restaurant. Right. Yes. You might be able to seat 50 people in there.
Right.
But every time you go in there, it's spotless.
Nice.
The coloring, you get this Jamaica. Some artist, I don't know who the artist is, but he or she is very, very talented. They got like this airbrushed, almost graffiti type color pattern. It's how they do that. The menu is all over the walls.
Wow. Oh, right.
And it's very colorful.
Right.
And the place is always clean. I mean, like, you can see the food out front. And you don't see the spillage where they're dipping stuff and splatter. You don't see they keep all of that stuff clean. It's just great. They're nice to you. The food is always. I've never gone there and felt like my food had been sitting cooked a while.
Nice.
Always fresh. And I'm saying, when you see stuff like that, man, that's someone who takes pride. I'm like, I know I could go and eat at his house.
Yeah. He said
the food is good. Yes,
No,
the food is
yes.
good. We have eaten there so much that we burned out on it. over when we first found out about it. Yeah,
Right,
because
right,
it was on the way home.
right.
After church, we'd stop there, get a plate, and
Right.
go on home. And
Hey, good
we
one.
literally burned out on it.
Wow. That's cool. That's cool. Oh, yes. I don't know if we've tried that spot yet, but we'll check it out. I know we go to the one next to the church. But yeah, we'll check that one out. So yeah, so like you said, you got the great experiences. You got the criticism of those that maybe need to change. And it's funny, and I get what you're saying, the mood. My thing is, granted, everybody has something to say. we know that. No matter what you do, no matter how you can get 52,000 compliments, there's always gonna be one. There's always gonna be one, as great as you are, there's always one to give you a suggestion. Hey, but I think, even when you're great, you can always at least take note. You may not have to have a long conversation like, I hear you, I'll take note of that. You don't have to, like you said, you weren't there when that was a good one though. You weren't there. Oh, you should have told me that when we started.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wish you were there when I launched. I'm like, wow.
Right.
In other words, if you're not there on the ground floor,
right.
Don't try to tell me anything now.
Right.
It was my money that launched this.
Right. And then you're looking like, well, that's why a lot of you guys aren't lasting. That's why a lot of these restaurants open and close.
Yeah.
A lot. It's just in Georgia, boy. I've never seen so many businesses open and close in an area, like in a lot of these areas. And even in like New York, like I see businesses that are grungy go through, but they've been there for like decades. Like decades. They open, they always, a new store. They did at least good 5 to 10 years, then they may switch. But here it's like months, 3-4 months. I'm like, wow.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. One thing that you've learned in the restaurant business is that, you have to get your food out.
Right.
You can't have people waiting.
Yeah.
People want a decent environment if it's a sit down restaurant. Right. The problem is you get into the business and you cannot maintain the repetitive nature of getting the food out. Right. You cannot maintain good workers. Right. One of the biggest challenges with my auntie runs a breakfast joint. My Aunt Sam does.
Right.
So she can talk a great deal about finding good help and people who can accept your teaching, your training, right, and do as you do, become an extension of the owner, an extension of the chef, right? That stuff is hard to do. And when you find people like that, you can't keep them because you can't pay them.
Right.
Right. So there's all kinds of reasons why there is a struggle in maintaining restaurants. And then the quality of the food has to be maintained. It's great to start off with everything you want to run your restaurant. But if you haven't counted up the cost and really done your business plan effectively, the cost of doing the business the way you want to do it can close your business. I met a man when I first moved to Georgia. He was a man who was a contractor. He would come in and redo your home, remodel your home and all that kind of stuff. But he loved it. He was so passionate about his work and his work was so detailed. He said, I had to close my business because it took me too long to finish the job. Because every job was like I was working on my own home.
Right. We ain't got that time.
And nobody has that kind of time. But he was honest. He was like, I had to learn. I realized I'm no good for this business because I can't treat everybody's house like mine. I can't afford to operate like that. Right. Isn't that crazy?
It is.
Like if you come work into my house and you tell me, when you're done, I'm going to love it. It's just going to take a little longer.
Right. Yeah.
Have at it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you know what? If you can't, like that would be like his review. Like if you looked on Yelp, like, yo, he's amazing. You just have to be patient.
Not because he doesn't
like
show
his
up.
mantra. Like,
not because he doesn't show up. Sometimes you got to be patient because they don't show up and they just don't. They're procrastinators. But I'm saying someone who's so detail oriented, but he tells you this is how long it's going to take.
Right. I would be good with that.
Yeah.
I mean, like it just like that would be if we get down like if I tell him like, hey, I need it done. It's like that's just I can't do it that quick. That's not how I operate. You know, like his niche market is listen. I don't do quick, but I do very persistent. You know, very effective. Clean. You know, like effective and just
my quality of service is high.
It's high. It's high. It just takes time. You know, and so to me, that's you just got to find your niche a lot of times. Like I know people.
Well, I told him. I said, you know, you don't have the ability to just do the job, what they paid you to do. You know, why does everything have to take longer? You know, like it's okay to not treat their house like your house.
Right.
And he's like, you know, yeah, I get because my thing is if I want you to come in and paint a room,
right.
You come in, you just paint the room. Yes, that's one thing. He said, but if you want me to come in and remodel or extend your house, you know, you put an extension on the back of your house or you know, build a deck or whatever those types of things are, you know, sometimes there's some creative things that you could do. Yeah, but not everybody needs all that additional creativity. Some people just want a deck. Right. You know, like you don't have the ability to just switch that up and just get the job done.
Yeah, just
you know,
basic.
Yeah.
Like I just want basic. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's you know, I was like pushing back on him. And so remember when I was executive pastor at Center of Hope?
Yes.
Remember when somebody ran into the side of the building at that funeral and pushed the wall in?
Okay.
Were you there then? You remember that?
No, you know what? And on the building? No.
On the double doors on the side of the sanctuary. Yeah, we had a funeral there. We loaned the church to a family. They had a big funeral, like 1,000 people. I don't know. And some elderly woman lost control of the car and rammed the car into the side of the wall where the double doors are, where the mothers would sit. And it literally pushed the brick wall in. And so we had to redo that entire wall, that section of the wall and reframe the doors and all that kind of stuff. Right. And the guy that was hired to redo that side of the church was the person that I'm talking about. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
It took a long time to get it done.
Yeah. He gave us an initial budget and he wasn't doing the work at the time. Right. But he was going to do it for me because I called him.
Okay.
You know, and so he said, yeah. And so he said, yeah, I can do this. And when he started, the budget that he started with was not the budget we ended with.
Oh, wow.
Because he went and when he started doing the work, he realized, oh man, there's some work that has to be done on the roof. He said, if you want this to end up the right way, we're going to have to fix this section of the roof up here.
Okay.
You understand? Okay. We found some things out. You know, and like this window over here on the side, we're gonna have to, you know,
I get it.
If you want it done, he was like, if you want it done right,
I got you.
Is what he was saying. And I'm going to the senior pastor. I'm like, okay, we need to, and he's like, what? No, just fix the wall. Just fix the wall. I'm like, listen, right? The guy knows what he's talking about, pastor. And, you know, I know it's going to increase the budget, but, you know, we do have the money.
Right.
To do this because the insurance is paying for this, right?
You want it done right.
And he said, yeah, but just because they give us a $15,000 check don't mean we have to spend $15,000 to fix it. I'm like,
let's get it done right.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm having to wheel and deal. I'm trying to tell him, listen, we need to do, if he says we should do this, like, cause he doesn't come to the church. He doesn't have to make the recommendation.
Right.
You know?
Right. Wow. Gotcha.
So it's little things like that, and that's the way his personality is, and you meet people like that,
right?
You know, but I don't want to just let the roof stay the way it is.
Yeah, so yeah, I know. Yeah, it's the hustle man, boy. But anyway, let's get into. All right, so the next thing, all right, because I know I say I didn't want to stick there too long. I know I stuck there a little long. So competition versus collaboration, right? And we always talk about our ability to work together, especially if we're on the same path, doing things that are similar, at least have similar goals, having the ability to come together instead of having separate missions. Having
Somebody,
one,
hold on. I'll be right back, bro.
all right, having one avenue of growth and to build something. Yeah, just janky. We're gonna move forward though. Move forward. Let's see. Hold on. Let me throw some. Let's see. Okay. Richard says, quotation, you can tell how someone lives their lives by the way they run their businesses. You can bet $500 that a franchise owner will be super motivated, attention to detail, pay above the average, right, and have a fair tipping scheme. That's such a word for it, scheme, but I get what you're saying. So we're always talking about in our community our ability to work together, to build something greater, to build something bigger. So I kind of want to put it out there. Do you guys feel like we can build a more collaborative effort instead of being so competitive? Because we've all, been subject to and even know about the me, myself mindset. Like, this is mine right here. Me, one man, one person. I'm gonna build this. It's all about me. I don't need nobody else. I don't need any help. Or do you know many people that are in the collaborative mindset where instead of me having to do it all, I can focus on what I'm great at in this particular space or business, and someone else can come in that can focus on another part that they're great at. Like, I'm a great cook. They're a great hostess and server. Like, they're good at the customer service part. We got someone else come in that can manage. To me, my mind, the way I think about it, I think you have a better chance of success and growth when it comes to us just being able to work together. Do you feel like, and everybody on here, I want you to really let me know, right? And tag some people that you probably have this conversation with. Do you feel like we struggle to work together even if we're going the same direction? Richard said both competition is good, but you can definitely collaborate with people or collaboration merger with competitor to get half market share. Like you see businesses do it all the time. They merge together, both in the same space. One's on the east, one's on the west. Now we're controlling the whole U.S. because we're both going the same direction and we have different customers doing the same thing. So do you feel like, can we collaborate more? Like, of course, the running theme, especially in our community when it comes to churches, is like 52 churches on the same block. And let's keep it real. If they're part of different denominations, you got PAW or Kojic, granted, the chances of them working together is little to none because of denominations, maybe foundational things. But do you think is it possible to find a way to come together, and I know, Pastor, you have your ministry is, I think, as far as I know, what I pass within the, let's see, maybe 10 miles of the direction we go. I pass maybe 2 churches, 3 churches. Our area is not as, I won't say bad, but not as congested church-wise as some areas I've seen, like New York. Oh my gosh, it's like liquor store, business, church, liquor store, business, church. It's like you go on the block and like there's like 7 churches on this block. And listen, and I get if they're different language, like, oh, there's a language barrier. Different languages they do. But you just like, and in my mind, I think, and I probably spoke to you this before. Some pastors should be like teachers. They're great at curriculum, they're great at organization, but they're not like a pastor. Like pastors, like they're probably their weakest point. They can do it, but if they had a pastor and they just got to focus on teaching instruction, like they could build a mega church, together, because just the way their mind thinks. And if they and you got another one that's probably dope at finance. Oh, I can bring money in. Like I could raise thousands. But I suck at distributing. I suck at pastoring. I suck, so the money just goes away. It comes in, goes out, comes in, Oh, do you think, do you feel like we can collaborate more, or is it a possibility? And speaking, just let's just throw the church, throw it out there in the ministry world. Like, is it possible that collaboration can happen more, or do you think there's once I get called, I got to be the leader mindset? Like that, I gotta stay on top. I gotta be the head. Who's gonna run the joint? like we collaborate together, but who's going to be the head? You know.
I think that happens everywhere.
Right.
It's just that when it comes to the church, for whatever reason, people don't think that should happen in the church. Right? The church stands out because for some reason people expect everyone in the church to be perfect.
Oh yeah.
But churches collaborate all the time.
Right.
You know, our national prelate, Bishop J. Drew Shear, just collaborated with Jamal Bryant.
Okay.
About 2 months ago. He was here in Atlanta speaking at Jamal Bryant's church. What's the name of that church?
New Birth.
New Birth. Yeah, our bishop was here. And he was here, and the local bishops, you know, were saying, hey, Bishop Sheard is going to be here. Make sure let's go over and support him at New Birth. You know, so I'm saying that, you know, collaborations happen when you go through, you know, the Interdenominational Theological Seminary, ITC. You connect with other doctrines, right? It's not just Kojic preachers or people that go there. You know, there are, and also there are non-pastors that are going to seminary for the sheer purpose of understanding divinity or theology, eschatology, right? And so they come out educated, and they're making these connections with other people, and they're bringing those connections back to their churches. You know, so it's happening all the time. And a lot of times we just we hear about the breakdowns. We don't hear about the successes. We don't promote the successes. We promote the trials.
Yes.
You know, and so I feel like it happens more times than given credit.
Okay. I like
in the church, in my own personal experience.
I feel you.
Right.
That's good.
But do we need help? Absolutely. We need help. We need to do more of it.
Right.
But it's definitely happening more frequently than people think.
That's good. Let's see. Same thing. Collaboration is sometimes hard. Finding someone that has the same work ethic and commitment as you. Seb said, I'm like the dude Pastor was talking about. If you want it done right, and most are like, let's just get it done, get the job done. Collaboration works if they're equal and also the same ethics, principles, integrity. Kind of what Sam was saying. But I do agree with you, Pastor. I got this knack that just won't go away. I agree that there are more good happening that doesn't get enough light shined upon it. And I do. That's one of the things I really want to dig into. Like sometimes we, you know, if you look at enough social media, you feel like our whole race is lost. Like there's nothing happening. We can't work together. We got horrible businesses. We can't buy from each other. You know, like if you focus so much on social, you just think like, oh man, we are in a horrible state. But in reality, there are a lot more collaborations happening that's not discussed. You know, there are a lot more coming together that's not promoted as much. And I guess because you don't see it on social, it's like rare, you know, because you ever have something happen like, oh, I should have took a picture of that. You know, like, oh, I should have just, you know, I should have did a post about, you know, like the good stuff. You're like, oh, that was good. We should, you know, and because you're in the moment and you think like, oh, that'd have been a great photo. That'd have been a great moment to shine, to just show that this is happening, you know, especially when like you have the moments where like well-known people come together, you know, and it's not for press and you're like, oh, I should have got a picture of that. The world needs to see this stuff, you know, like they need to know that we are working together. They need to know that we're good. Let's see. All right. Aunt Simpson, I can't agree with having someone with the same work ethics, someone who wants to get the job done right, someone who's willing to receive constructive criticism in order to be better at what they're doing. That person's a great asset to what you are doing in the community. Is extremely hard to get good workers, especially when you want it done right. I work alone. Okay, so you work alone. You can't. And in essence, You can't find anybody. Oh, it said I can. Oh, can agree. Okay, with correction. Okay, hold on. Okay, I will say Brother Legacy, like Solomon's Temple, a fantastic, great ethos, ethics, principles, teachings, and morals. Truly making my day, especially when I'm unwell. Oh, appreciate
And
that.
we're all different.
Yeah. Right.
We're all different, and we
All
have different levels of work ethic.
Yeah.
It's all good ethics, but there
Yeah.
are definitely different layers.
Yeah.
I don't want everybody to be like me.
Right. Right. Yeah.
We wouldn't get anything done.
Right. Right.
That's
Right.
just the truth.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there has to be room for me to teach, but also room for me to learn.
Yeah. True. That's good.
You know,
Yeah.
I have to be able to operate in, because everything we do is multi-laned,
Right.
right? And we may be heading in the same direction, but we're going to bump heads if we're in the same lane.
Right. Yes, that is the
Right.
truth.
And so that's what and so I believe that, you know, it's funny when you look at the 70, what was it, the 73-9 Golden State Warriors team,
Okay.
right? They had great shooters. They had the greatest backcourt in the history of the NBA with Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, right?
Right.
But Steph Curry wasn't the greatest defender. Klay Thompson was known as a great two-way player.
Right.
Right? I mean, they were a magical team. And Steph Curry was the captain of the team, but you know who made that team roll? Draymond Green.
Interesting.
He played a totally different role,
Interesting.
but he had a great work ethic. You know, so we have to be different. We all have to bring different tools, different things to the table, but we all have to agree on the common goal. What'd she say?
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna read it, and then we want to chat about this real quick. Throw faster. I don't want anyone to be like me, but I want you to work and not be lazy when you want things done right. And sometimes in a specific
way.
Mm-hmm. People want to take shortcuts. For example, making biscuits and leaving now ingredients, and the person tell you it's okay. They're gonna be all right. No, if you follow direction, true, you don't have to be like me, but do the job. But listen, Aunt Sam, if the biscuits taste just like the biscuits you make, and I'm able to cut down on the ingredient one that saves money, and it still get done, then what's the beef? Because this can be the issue as well. Because a lot of times people want things done exactly the way they do it. If I can get the results that you get doing it differently, either faster, more economical, then why can't And I think that's where we get into the
but that depends on the job, right?
That
because if you go to Aunt Sam's kitchen, you're supposed to get Aunt Sam's biscuits,
right?
And Aunt Sam is one who her mindset is, I'm giving this to you for the taste,
right?
I take pride in the experience, in the taste, not in just getting it done. See, there's Samantha. Don't mess with the recipe. See, certain people, it's about the taste. You can't
leave out salt.
No, because who sprinkles salt on biscuits? You can't. When they're done, you can't. Right? No, listen, man. I learned that salt is a necessary, in my opinion. Right. Salt is a necessary component in cobbler. Okay. And certain people don't put salt in the cobbler, and it's like eating a sugar stick. Right. But there's a contrast that you get, and so what I'm saying is, like, if you're coming to me for cobbler, it's gonna have salt in it.
Right. I got you.
If I'm coming to you for cobbler, I'm not gonna complain.
I got you.
But if you're coming to my house, you're gonna help me make cobbler. You better make sure you put my salt in that cobbler.
Right.
Right. So it depends on the goal, and it depends on who's in charge and all of that. Right. All of that matters, especially when and so what am I saying? I'm saying that it's all about expectations. You have to set proper expectations. If I own a business and I'm bringing you in, you must understand my vision for the business, the mission for the business, and all of those things.
Mhm.
And we do what we do for these reasons.
Right.
I heard a preacher say to me years ago, he said, I know you have training.
Mhm.
I know you know how to do this, but I want to show you how we do it here.
Right.
Right. He said, you can do it any way you want to do it. He says, but if you're going to be here, this is how we do it here.
I got you. I'm with you. Let me throw this out there though. All right. So we're talking about business. Even in ministry, we talk about a lot of times we are working towards a result. Am I correct? Especially in cooking. The result is the nice, fluffy, tasty biscuit, right? And we're talking about business. We're talking about business, not personal, not in your kitchen. We're talking about business. So we're talking about cost and ingredients. We're talking about the cost and energy as far as electricity, and we're talking about cost and time, right? If I like you said, the pastor brings you in and said, "This is how we do it here," right? And you learn the culture, because that's the first thing you need to do. You need to learn the whole thing. What's going down in this spot? Like, you can't change. Like, I can't bust up in your house, pastor. We need to start. And you're like, that's not how we function, though. You're
Right.
like,
You're going to
get
get
great
put out.
ideas, but it's not going to help with the way we function. So
You're going to get put out.
right, right. Like, I gotta understand the way we. I don't
See that?
Yes, indeed.
That's
Okay,
a
hold
couple
on.
of biscuits. Okay.
Yes.
Don't they look beautiful?
They're beautiful.
Beautiful. I mean, all you need is some butter and syrup, or
Right.
butter and jelly for these biscuits.
Right.
They look fluffy. They look well put together, right?
Yes, indeed.
What you don't know is they're vegan,
I got you.
made by my daughter, my 17-year-old.
I got you.
She figured out a recipe and she made those biscuits. And I was like, vegan biscuits? Who wants to eat vegan
Right,
biscuits?
right.
And I sent the picture to my mother
Yeah,
because they look like my mother's homemade biscuits.
got you.
I'm like, Mom, look at these biscuits. She actually made them. They look like yours.
Right,
But then I made like my mother's.
right, right.
If
And-
I
and
want
if-
biscuits right
Yeah.
now today, I'll eat these
Right.
because they tasted great,
I got you.
but they were
And
made
so-
differently.
Yeah, right. And my point was, and I get what you're saying, Sam. Sam says there's a way to suggest things in our collaboration. We have to figure out the timing in place, but on the fly isn't always. But no, never on the fly. Like, we will work in the kitchen, we'll make it, and I'll be mentally noting some things, and then we sit down. I would say, you know what, Sam, we can save some money while making this biscuit. Like, right now, you charge $5 for this biscuit, and it costs us $3 to make. What if I can suggest to you a way to make this biscuit same way, same taste, and it costs you $1.50?
You remember the message yesterday?
Nope. I mean, I heard it. I mean,
Everybody gets wet.
Yes, everybody gets wet. Right.
And in the message, I gave a testimony about my wife and I purchasing our first home in Georgia,
Yes.
and
then
the
getting
deck, the wooden deck,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yep.
And how beautiful the deck was,
Yes.
but that the wood had not been weather treated.
Yes.
Thank you, Samantha, for paying attention. I appreciate you, sis.
I'll be working hard in the back. I forgot.
I
know
know you save, sis.
We did just throw my salvation.
We gonna get some oil for your husband. No. But remember this. It doesn't make sense
Mhm.
to build a wooden deck that is going to be external to the house, outside,
Right.
that has to endure inclement weather.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to build it. If you're going to build the deck, you should treat the wood.
Right.
But somebody cut corners
Right.
and they just painted the wood. They didn't treat the wood because the cost would have had to been added to the house, and they were trying to stay within a certain budget to build the house.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But the impact is just a couple of years later, the deck has to be rebuilt because the wood dry rots because it wasn't weather treated. and you got to weather treat the wood and paint it anyway.
Right.
You understand?
I got it.
So someone made a decision, hey, we can cut corners here, but cutting that corner negatively impacted the long-term durability of the home.
I get it. I get it.
So every situation is different.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. I just throwing that out as an example. Just sometimes, we take the long way when we don't have to. Like yes. Like, I don't know if you ever watched those. What's that dude? Guy Fury, when he goes dining and dashing, going to different diners, and some of their process. You be like, that is a long process, and you can see it in Guy's face, like that is a long. you're like, I don't know. He never suggested anything. Maybe off camera, he might. Hey, you can cut that. You even have to. You can save, little, and you still get the same taste, He said, right, in our collaboration, we have to have the same focus. If one is just trying to make money at all costs, it won't. No, I mean, it's never, I'm with you on that. It's never at all costs. It's just, how can
Oftentimes it is.
Right, right.
Far too often it is.
Yeah. But you got to have someone that's kind of monetarily focused, because you can't cut everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we got a budget. All right, what if we cut that? Can we cut that? Can we do this? Can we cut that? Can we cut that? Because can we keep it real? Some things are just traditional processes. Like, you don't have to do that anymore. You realize, there's a machine we can buy that'll just do that. Like, you realize there's a season that's already put together, and it don't take 3 days to make. Like, think about some of the things like pancakes. Like, you don't have to mix pancake, you just get the mix. Like some of the things that take days, you gotta let it dry. You gotta you gotta thresh it. You gotta thresh. Like, why are you doing all that?
I'll tell you this. The day I perfected my mother's macaroni and cheese, was the day I stopped buying Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Right, no doubt. Listen, some things are great. Some things going through the process of making. You're right. I was Kraft until I met Sam. She said, like, you can make macaroni and cheese like that? So yeah, I'm with you on that. My thing is, it's just some things, some process can be cut, some are part of, but we know certain things are like, you shouldn't have to take that long. This should, like back in the day.
You think about, I ride a Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of imitators.
Right.
People say, wow, you have to pay all that money for a Harley.
Right.
Because there's only one Harley.
Right.
There are a lot of people out there that's trying to imitate, but the work that goes into building these machines is unmatched.
Yeah, indeed.
Yes, indeed. The sound is unmatched.
Right.
So again, I think that I completely agree with you. I believe that, two things. One, you talked about competitiveness, and then you talked about collaboration, and which I think you're emphasizing is let's be less competitive internally and more collaborative internally. Yes. Is what you're saying. If we're all under the same roof, there's no need for competition. There's an increased need for collaboration because we have the same goal.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely.
So I'm completely in agreement with you there. I completely agree that constructive criticism is healthy.
Right.
But I think sometimes, if you're at McDonald's where they put little metal plates under the light to let you know that if you've ever seen McDonald's, they have these little metal plates, silver plate. They look kind of like this, right? And they have a number on them, 5, 6, 7, right?
Yeah, that's an old school one. Yeah. When they used to slide them in the bin. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what that represents? It represents how long ago you put that burger there.
Yes.
Right. And so it gives the workers the age of the food.
Right.
So if you put the age of the food under the lamp, that means timing is everything.
Right.
Right. So that means you're supposed because I worked at McDonald's years ago, and the whole impetus behind the success for McDonald's, it was timing.
Right.
So you can't come in the time, well, if we try this, no, get the burger done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't need we perfected a process here.
Yeah.
Don't come in here trying to mess with the process because we got 5,000 stores across the country and this is how we all do it. You know, be quiet, get your training and go, in a situation like that where things are more rigid.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough.
Right. Oh, right? Yeah. Definitely.
So you have to know where to insert constructive criticism. Yeah. Wisdom is critical.
True.
When it comes to constructive criticism.
Yeah, definitely. Richard said there are many models of Harley, all great bikes. Indians are coming back. Guess there's an Indian bike. Not sure. Okay. A Harley knockoff. But yeah. So yeah, you're right. Timing is definitely essential. Like you said, yeah, when you're dealing with something that's, I guess, has always worked, it's hard. You got to understand the process of where it can be fixed, because we all know, even in big business, shift needs to happen. Stuff changes around time. It's like, hey, the business model is changing, y'all. You need to be paying attention. Like, I've been working here 5 years, but listen, we need to start doing it this way because there's a shift happening. We want to be ahead of it. Like even like the circuit cities, and like you got to know what's going on and be able to change with time. And I know a lot of times, like, when they're big businesses, it really falls on deaf ears. Like, you don't know, this is what we always been doing. But if you think about everything, from personal to your business to ministries, like, well, this is what we always been doing. And then you wonder why numbers are dwindling and people are dropping off because you're not understanding the culture any longer. You're not understanding, you don't have your pulse on it. And you have no idea what the people are going through, and how to meet those needs.
While every organization may not have a quality control department,
right,
every organization should have some quality control.
Yeah, definitely.
While every organization may not have a process improvement department, every organization should have some focus on process improvement.
Right.
That's what you're saying. You have to be pliable.
Right.
That's the reality.
Right.
And that's what I love. I mean, in our church, I'm constantly looking for feedback.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when you're open to feedback, no one will say anything. It's when you appear rigid, everybody has an opinion.
So everyone wants to have something to say.
Yeah.
Right.
But when you invite people's positions and their feedback, everybody shuts up. Why is that? Talk, church. No. Because there's no such thing as everything is great.
Right. That is true. 100%.
My term is there's always room to pick the lint.
Right. Always room. All right. So we appreciate you guys rocking and hanging with us. I got some more I want to get into. So tomorrow, changing your mindset of our community, part 2. Let's see. Would you say Burger Kings are expanding faster than McDonald's as their usual menu, plant-based, and Impossible Burgers and breakfast? Yeah, Burger King sucks. Anyway. Now, Pastor Brian, you don't do fast food. Listen, I am a fast food critique, and Burger King sucks. It does. I don't know what's happened to them. I don't know what's going on with the corporation or franchise.
I have to be really desperate to eat some McDonald's or some Burger King. Right, I got to be real. I mean, like, I'm on a 15-hour drive, and I'm starving, about to pass out, and it's 20 miles before the next. All I have is Burger King, and I got to be ready to pass out.
Wait, and you got to choose. You got to choose which one you're going to.
If I got to choose between Burger King and McDonald's,
yeah, you had to choose. Like oh.
It wouldn't even matter because I'm gonna get the chicken sandwich.
Oh, either one, right? It's just chicken. But yeah, all right, we're gonna get out of here. Oh, shout out to Burger King. Love you guys. Hang in there, guys. You guys are falling off. I mean, the one around here just but anyway, but anyway, let's get out of here. Appreciate you guys rocking and hanging with us. Make sure you Join our text community. Text LWN to 84576. Listen, definitely join tonight. Purposeful Forever. We got our singles night. We got some singles coming on. It's going to be an hilarious conversation because got my man on it. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. So make sure you tune in tonight. Watch Purpose for Forever tonight at 8 p.m. Make sure you join our community. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. Never miss a broadcast. All right. So we look forward to seeing you. Same time, same channel. Spliggity splow. Wait. She done hit me with the last. Constructive criticism has been the best thing that could happen to me, even when I was in the dental field. If a dentist told me that I didn't do the proper way of putting a filling in a tooth, or my hygiene instructors say I didn't remove all the plaque with calculus, right? Calculus?
Calcium.
I know calcium. That's I'm thinking from someone's teeth. Believe me, when I received the constructive criticism, I became one of the best. I got you. I feel you. But
because you were receiving criticism from someone that was in a higher position.
Right. That's all I was thinking. What if I told you, listen, I think you messed that up, right? You need to go back in and look.
Like, boy, be quiet. You wouldn't even be in here if you've been handling your business.
Right. All right, guys. We look forward to seeing you guys tonight. All right, stay safe. Continue to wear the mask. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm keep saying it. All right, and we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, or actually tonight, and then tomorrow. So we look forward to that. As always, be blessed, keep pushing, keep growing. Know that we love you, but God loves you more, and we'll see you in the AM. Peace out.
As always, we love you. Know that God loves you more. Stay safe. Thank you guys for hanging. Make sure to sharing is caring. All of my replay peoples that watch in the background that I know see this show, I appreciate you as well.